Yeah, I wanted to try to make this video to see if I could help you figure out how to use the integrating factor to solve first order linear differential equations in this form specifically. You're going to see a lot of first order differential equations in this case. They're pretty general, easy to solve, and we're going to look at solving them by using something called the integrating factor. Now, the integrating factor is it's designed to kind of use some trickery to simplify the left-hand side a little bit so that we can just go ahead and integrate it. It's defined as mu of t equals e to the integral of this p of t dt. And you'll see in a moment that this is actually really convenient for us when we're trying to solve these differential equations. So let's take a look at what happens. I'm going to go through a little example problem and show you exactly how this is done. Basically what we're going to do, here's to give a little game plan, is we're going to get the equation into this form. We're going to find the integrating factor and we're going to multiply both sides by it. And I'll go through exactly why we do that and why it allows us to simplify it. So basically, we have this initial value problem, 2y prime plus 4y equals e to the 2t for y of 0 equals 1. And we can I didn't test it. I think maybe we can solve it by separating, but that's not what we're going to try to do because that would ruin being able to solve it for integrating factors. So first thing we have to do is we have to take this equation and we have to put it into the form y of t plus p of t, that's y prime, sorry, p of t times y of t equals q of t. Now we can see pretty quickly that it is pretty close to this form, but it's not because of this too. So we're going to take it and we're going to divide it out across all of the terms. Y prime plus 2y equals e to the 2t, that is 1/2 e to the 2t. So now we have it in that form that we were looking for before, and all we have to do now is find the integrating factor, which is, mu of t equals e to the integral of 2 dt, which, as we know, is e to the 2t. So this is our integrating factor. This is good. We found this. And now I'm going to show you what happens when we multiply both sides by e to the 2t. It's pretty interesting. So we have y prime plus, I'm going to leave a little bit of space, 2y equals 1/2 e to the 2t. Okay, so we're going to multiply both sides by our integrating factor now. E to the 2t, e to the 2t, e to the 2t. Take a look at this left-hand side here. Does it look familiar? If we take this and move this over, we can see that we have a function f and a function g. So we have f times g prime plus f prime g. Look familiar? That's the product rule. And as we know, that is just that. So what we can do is we can take this whole thing and simplify it down to just e to the 2t times y prime. Now ain't that nifty? And now obviously we can simplify this right-hand side, to 1/2 e to the 4t. So now we have this left-hand side in a convenient form where we can just go ahead and integrate. So that's what we're going to do. When we do that, I already worked it out. It is e to the 2t times y, obviously, because we're just eliminating this prime, times 1/8 e to the Sorry, give me a second. 1/8 e to the 4t plus c. And actually, we didn't, I should mention that we didn't include the plus c up here. It's not really necessary. Won't help you all that much. So don't include plus c here. Don't do that. Yeah. So now all we need to do is divide by e to the 2t on both sides. And we don't need to do the constant because, as we know, it'll still just be a constant. So when we do that, we have y equals 1/8 e to the 2t plus c for y of 0 equals 1. I already worked that out. You know how to solve it. 1 equals 1/8 e to the 0, which is just 1, plus c. And so plus c can only be 7/8. So our solution, and this is what we call the general solution, by the way, because it encompasses all different forms of this solution. C could be anything. For this particular solution, c is 7/8. So our final solution, our particular solution, is y equals 1/8. I don't know what happened there. E to the 2t plus 7/8. And that is how you solve a differential equation using an integrating factor. It makes this left-hand... That fucking asshole. It makes this left-hand side a lot easier to deal with because of the way that it interacts with this part and how it just mimics the product rule. So we can simplify it down. Yeah.